Hi, my name is Jackie. If this is your first time here, I would like to welcome you to my channel. I hope you will consider subscribing if you enjoyed today's video. And for my returning subscribers, it's always good to have you back. In today's video, we are doing a video about where are they now? If you're interested in seeing what that's all about, then you'll have to keep watching. Okay, so I was at work one day thinking about what will be my next video. The ideas are slow in coming, but this idea popped in my head. Where are they now? And what that's referring to is all these eyeshadow palettes that I had to have. I seen them, I wanted them, I had to have them, I purchased them, and I haven't used them. I have not touched them, only to swatch them in several videos, but as far as doing a makeup look with them, no ma'am. So that's what we're going to do in today's video. We're going to revisit some of these palettes that I picked up. I just had to have them, but now that I have them, they're just sitting and collecting dust. Now, the first palette I do want to share with you, I tried to use this palette. It's a beautiful palette, even on the eyes, but I think how I want the color combination to go, but every time I tried it, it didn't work out. It did not work out. So this tip technically isn't a where are they now, because I have tried to use this one. I just cannot get the color, I just cannot get the look that I envision with this palette to come through. So the first palette that I'm talking about is by Lime Crime, and it's the Prelude palette. This is such a beautiful palette. I envision an eye look, but it just never comes out like I envisioned it. Let me show you what it looks like. Almost looks like I haven't touched it, but I have tried several times. And what I'm envisioning is that I want to use this shade right here. I want to use this shade. I tried to use it with this, and I've also tried to go in with this shade right here. Now, maybe not each time I tried to use it with, definitely with this shade, trying to get a combo. Then I try to use it with this shade, and then when it comes to these two shades, this doesn't look like what it looks like in the pan, and then this one I feel like it's just too close. I've just tried a number of ways to use this. This is such a pretty palette, and then I don't know if it's maybe because I feel like maybe this would be better served in the fall time. I don't know why I cannot get it. But I am going to finally figure out a way to use this palette because it's so beautiful. And the Lime Crime formula on these palettes is really nice. I just used another palette from Lime Crime for the first time. That's why it's not in this video. But I did a post of it on Instagram. And let me just show you that one. Okay, this is the palette here. It's the Lime Crime Venus 3 palette. Remember, I had this one, if you follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, I had this eye covered up and then just this look so you guys can see the palette. I did it, and I'll pop the picture up on the screen. Well, I finally, for the first time, used this palette. And when you look at it on screen, it actually doesn't look, it looks better in person than it does on screen. But when I look at this, I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to use this palette. Because to me, it looks like just something that I would never want to pick up. You know, I mean, it has this beautiful shade right here, which you know I'm already drawn to. And really the rest of the shades didn't wow me. And so I finally woke up one day and knew I wanted to do something with makeup. And I created the look that I put a picture up of. And everything just came out so beautifully. So I was taken aback by this palette. I was like, I cannot believe that I was able to create such a pretty look with this palette. So, you know, sometimes they have colors in here that you don't think that you can really get any use out of. and you come up with the prettiest looks. So this one, I like this color story right off the bat, but I can't come up with the look. So I'm still trying, you guys, because I am going to make this work. I think I'm working too hard at it is what the thing is. You're like trying to create this eye-catching, flawless, wow look. And I think I'm just getting into my own head. Like I'm really trying to do the most with this palette instead of just letting it be what it is. So this one I am going to create a look with because I know I'm going to love it. This palette is so gorgeous. And then I picked this next palette up from BoxyCharm. Got it for dirt cheap, and I was like, oh yes, it's an all matte palette. I'm gonna be able to, you know, like with some of my shadows that only have like a couple of mattes, you know, I'll be able to use this palette to incorporate, you know, a different variety of mattes. Like for instance, like one I'm thinking of right off the bat is Pat McGrath. It was her Christmas palette, not this last year, but the year before. And I think it had maybe 2 or 3 mattes and the rest were like her metallics. And I'm telling you, sometimes I was just like, I just want to use a different matte. You know, there's only 3. I just want to mix it up and use something different. And I was like, oh, I'll have this palette right here from Viseart, and I'll just have all the mattes I'll ever need. This is going to be so pretty. And all I've done was swatch this. I don't think I have ever used this palette. Just swatched it. Now, I don't know if I would create an all matte look because I am totally getting into those, or if I just want to use it as a companion palette, because like I said, these are all the mattes that I would ever think I would need, and I just sits there. Even with palettes that I could use another matte, I'll just go ahead and use the matte that's in the palette instead of reaching for this. So as far as where are they now, this one's just camped out in my drawer, unused, untouched. So the next palette that I want to mention to you, I actually have 2 of these. This is by Flower Beauty, and it's their Jungle Lights palette. I finally gave in and picked this up, and oh, it is so pretty, you guys. Got this from Ulta. I think they were having a sale. Yeah, these were on sale. And when I tell you this is a beaming metallic formula, oh my gosh, I can't even swatch this anymore. It's just ridiculous. These shadows are amazing. And these metallic shades are just, I mean, they are beaming. They are showstoppers. Haven't used it though. Couldn't wait to get it. I had heard everybody talking about it, showing it up on their channels. Had to have it. Haven't touched it. Where are they now? Apparently still untouched. And since they were on sale, I picked up the Desert Lights. Again, Flower Beauty. Same beaming formula. Swatched it, haven't used it. I do like this one too. This is a little bit more subtle in terms of shade colors, but not in performance. Again, this is so pretty. You can just see, not really the glitter, but you can see that the sparkle, how metallic this is. So pretty. Again, both of these, where are they? Hanging out in my drawer, keeping each other company. This is another one. Where are they now? I did use another palette by this brand because I picked up both of the palettes from BoxyCharm. So this one is the Exotic Peacock palette by Pinky Rose Cosmetics, and I have another one that I use for my Easter look. So I finally used one of these, but I haven't used this one. This is what the packaging looks like on this one. So pretty. And this is what the palette looks like. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. This is a very pretty color story. Little intimidating. But really, my eye goes to this green. Y'all know I love a green look. A green look. This green right here just, it calls me. This one right here, I love these. I just love these colors in here. These jewel tones, they're beautiful. So I have this one, just hanging out with the rest of them, keeping them company. Haven't used it, I have only swatched it. And now we have 2 more palettes. Sorry, I was having a coughing attack. I have 2 more palettes. Let me get my tea. Okay, I'm back. I had to get my tea because I had a little coughing attack. And this is my second video I'm filming today. Okay, that's good. We're down to the last 3, you guys. Next up is this Natasha Denona Retro Palette. This is what it looks like on the outside. And here are the beautiful shades on the inside. I have only swatched it. Now I do know why I haven't used this, because usually I would be all over this palette. I do know why I haven't used it, and I think it comes down to that this palette has some of her powder formula. This palette has some of her powder formula shades in it, and I'm just not really sure how to feel about those, because they swatch differently, they feel differently, and when I'm uncertain about a palette, I don't mess with it until later on. And that's exactly what's happening with this one, because I feel like the powder formula isn't showing up accustomed to what I'm used to with Natasha Denona. And so that kind of gives me pause. And I know I will never know or get over it or learn how to use the powder formula until I actually use the palette. But just on the few times that I've swatched it, the powder formula feels different and it shows up differently. And so that's what's kept me from really using this. And you guys know this is my color story for sure. But yeah, I know why I haven't been using this one. I'm sorry. I know I haven't used this one just because of the different formula. This tea is so good. It's honey, I think honey and ginger. And it's a caffeine-free tea, but it is delicious. But yeah, this one, I'm going to have to just get over being a little intimidated by it. Excuse me. I'm going to have to jump in and just figure it out. But yeah, I haven't used this one. And now you know why. I'm scared. Next was a palette they took away. And when I first saw it, I had never really bought anything by the brand, really, or really done much shopping on their website. And then all of a sudden I kept hearing people talk about it. And show the palettes that they had picked up. Well, of course, you know me, I wanted to try it too. So they brought this. I missed out on the first palette that they released. It sold out so quick and they never brought it back. So when they dropped this one, I was all over. I said, oh yes, I'm going to get that because those are the shades that I love. Well, I drug my feet and the palette was sold out. And I was like, are you kidding? So I never got a chance to get it. But I guess this palette was so popular that they did bring it back. They revived it one more time, and then I jumped on it. And just like the rest of these, once I had it in my hot little hand, put it in my drawer, I thought about how I couldn't wait to use it, and it's just been hanging out, just chilling, because I haven't touched it, only to swatch it. And the palette that I am talking about, I even remember Monique DMing me on Instagram telling me, go ahead and get it. But at the time, I think the reason I wasn't getting it is because I was having the exterior of my house done. And I was like, I'm saving all my coin for my house, you know, and so I didn't get it. But then when they brought it back, I went ahead and got it because they're so affordable in the first place. But the palette I'm talking about is the Wilderness palette by Beauty Bay. And again, swatched it, not once, not twice, but probably a few times. This is what it looks like. Ugh, it's just so beautiful. But I have not touched this. And I love a green eyeshadow. I love a green look. Not to say that's the only look you can get with this palette, but that's what drew me in. Oh, and look at that. This one looks so pretty in the pan. I just can't believe I haven't touched it. Probably a little intimidated, but I don't know why. Because this one I think is up my alley. So I haven't used this one, but I definitely will be using it. I'm not sure when. Kind of screams a little fallish. I don't know. But, you know, if you're kind of like me, because this kind of really in the spring and summer look, but put it on anyway. So I could do the same with this one. But yeah, haven't touched it. It's a beautiful palette. So therefore, I've never tried the Beauty Bay formula still, only just in swatches. But I had to have it because when they reintroduced it again for the second time, I was like, I'm not missing out this time. So I went ahead and got it, and so happy I have it. Now, if I would just only use it. Oh, this one would have been a good red to use also. We did a video with Kataji Jackson, and we had to use, yeah, I could have used this whole palette. I could have used this palette then because we had to use a red shade and a cream shade. And look at here. Here's my cream and here's my red. I could have surely used this. Anyways, haven't used it, but I cannot wait to use this palette because just from the swatches, everything showed up so pigmented, so silky, so nice. So I can't wait to try this one. And while we're still on the subject of Beauty Bay, I think it was maybe even right after the Wilderness palette that this next palette dropped. And by then I was all on board with Beauty Bay, even though I had never even tried it really. But I was all on board. Or did I? Yeah, I was all on board. I think maybe, I'm trying to think, did I pick these up at the same time? Because it looks like maybe this palette dropped. This is the next palette I want to talk about. And then maybe they brought back the Wilderness. So I don't know if I picked these up together or separately. I'm not sure. But this one, literally, when I saw this palette, it took my breath away. I mean, it took my breath away. This is the Age of Opulence. And again, this is by Beauty Bay. I've just never really even seen a color story so beautiful. And again, talk about those jewel tone shades. This one, I made a comment in one of my videos where I was swatching this and recommending this palette for a holiday palette. And I said in that video, I said, I don't even know if I'm ever going to use this, if I'm just going to keep it because it's just so beautiful. Apparently, I'm still on that vein because I haven't used it, but it is just so gorgeous to me. So pretty. And, you know, I could use this 50 times and you probably wouldn't even know it because I'm so light-handed. You know, I don't dig my brush into my shadows. So I don't know why I haven't used this. I mean, it's gorgeous. I wouldn't mess it up if I did use it. But this is just, it's just a work of art. It's so pretty. I love this so much. My eye immediately goes to this blue. This is just so gorgeous. And I've already done swatches of these palettes, you guys. I'll try to put the notes up on the card up on the screen. But truly, if I keep swatching these palettes and not using them, I'm not going to have any shadow in the pan. So that's the reason I'm trying not to do any swatches. I don't want to make the video long. Plus, I have already swatched these palettes over and over. But this again is the Age of Opulence palette. Another palette, when I saw it, I put this in my cart so fast. Got it home, unwrapped it. I did a haul on it, showed you guys the palette, and that was it. Where are you now? We're just still hanging out, untouched, but we have swatched them. So we're making progress. So these are the palettes that I just wanted to see if you guys are in the same boat as I am. I know for a fact some of you have palettes that you just had to have and they're still hanging out in your drawer. You haven't used them. Probably not like me, probably had these palettes since last year, the latter part of last year, but yet and still we haven't used them. So if that is you too, leave me a comment down below and let me know that you're in the same boat as I am. Just raise your hand. Just raise your hand in the comments and I'll know what it means. Let me know if you too have palettes that you just had to have, and once you got them, not that they fell off your radar, you just haven't used them yet. So that does complete today's video. Like I said, this is video number 2. I don't know if I have another one left in me, but I may try to just do one more. But for today, that completes today's video. If you did enjoy my Where Are They Now video, please let me know by subscribing to my channel. Give me this video a thumbs up and ring the notification bell. It just lets you know each and every time that I upload a video. And share the channel because you know I don't mind. And lastly, please know that you're always welcome and wanted here on my channel. And with that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye-bye.